everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video I'm super excited to be doing. It's going to be a new series here on my channel about getting the use out of my single eyeshadows. So if that sounds good to you, if you like Project Pan videos, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet, but we're gonna get to talking about just the project that I plan on doing, how often, how it's going to work, pick some shadows to really just kick off this project. So let's just get started. All right, so if you saw my previous Shop My Stash, I just got finished filming it, but it probably went up about 2 videos before this. I'll link it up above if you haven't seen it. But in that video, I had pulled in some single shadows into Shop My Stash because really I was only focusing on palettes, not my singles. And so here were the singles that I pulled. There's 5 here, and it really just had me fall back in love with my singles. They get so neglected in my collection, and I have at least over 200 singles that I kind of saw other creators doing Project Pan style videos on their singles that I decided I'm just gonna start my own separate series and take it out of Shop My Stash and try and just do something different. I saw Andy Does Stuff. She called her video Making Dents, and I love the name of that because that's kind of my intention with this video, is less hitting pan on these, so less of a project pan and more just getting use out of my single eyeshadows. So here's how I'm gonna make it work for me. I put all my single shadows into the Tiny Decisions app, and I have it separated by mattes and shimmers. So I made one wheel for each of those. I'm gonna be pulling in 4 shadows, and I'm gonna be doing this series every 2 months. And the reason I'm gonna be doing that is because I also do a Project Pan, which I've already been doing. I will link that playlist up above. So what I'm gonna do is I'm starting this, it's early September, and I'll be doing eyeshadows every other month and then Project Pan every other month. My Project Pan does not have any eyeshadows, so it's kind of just gonna be eyeshadow specific, Project Pan, eyeshadow, Project Pan. Hopefully that makes sense, but then that way there's not too much project panning content on my channel. You're just getting that content once a month. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. Like I said, I don't want the goals of this to be hitting pan. I don't want to be having the shadows continuously rolling over until I hit pan. I really want to be using my collection as a whole. So instead, I'm going to be setting usage goals for the 2 mattes that I'm going to be pulling. I want to get 30 uses out of them each. And then for the 2 shimmers that I'm going to be pulling, I want to get 20 uses out of each. So that way they'll kind of be rolling in and out every time I do an update. Sometimes they'll all stay. We'll just have to see what happens. This is just me kind of testing it out. There's, a caveat that maybe I change the rules. I don't know. But for now, those are going to be my rules. I think that that's manageable for me. It kind of gives me a hard target goal on how often I want to use them. And I think that that's enough of a goal where it's not too easy to hit, but it's not unachievable to hit, because like I said, I still also have to be using my Shop My Stash things. I'm also going to be testing new things. Even though I'm loving getting use out of my collection, I don't think I'll ever be that person who just completely stops buying makeup. So I'll still be doing videos on eyeshadow palettes, etc. But hopefully this just motivates me to explore a whole new category of my collection that I've been neglecting. So like I said, I wanted to talk about the colors that I pulled in Shop My Stash. I purposely didn't talk about them in Shop My Stash so I could talk about them now. I kind of picked them pretty quickly when I did, but the first one that I have here is Sydney Grace Laughter. Now I don't have, these are all going to be rolling out. We're going to start fresh because I did not track my usage on them. But here's what this shade looks like. Just a very average pinky brown. This shade's okay, but I've been getting hard pan on it like crazy. I even have to scrape it again. So I don't know, kind of abnormal for Sydney Grace, but that's all right. The second one that I picked was Sydney Grace San Diego. Less of a peach, more of just like your classic saddle brown. Here's what this one's looking like. No no dip or anything like that. I maybe used them only 4 times or so. Then the next one was another Sydney Grace. I have a lot of Sydney Grace in my collection, so you'll probably be seeing that a lot. And this one is Puppy. This is a pretty bad swatch, but also a pretty popular shade from Sydney Grace. Like this one a lot. I used it to deepen up the outer corner, kind of just like a medium brown. And then the fourth matte that I had was from MAC, and this is Charcoal Brown, I think. Yes, Charcoal Brown. You know, this is a really good formula. I forgot how much I just really enjoy MAC's formula. I don't have too many singles from them, but this one is just a really good staple. I mostly picked out staples because in Shop My Stash originally, I had a lot of shimmers. And then I also pulled in this one shimmer from Give Me Glow. This is Lavender Taupe, and it's very beautiful. The swatch here, you can really see the lavender pull, but I feel like on the eyes, the lavender doesn't come through as much as I want it to. And these pans, I hope that Give Me Glow really listens to customers and makes their pans smaller, because these are just so ginormous. But here's what this one's looking like. So, you know, those were the ones that I had previously in my singles. And now I'm going to pick out some new ones and show you what the new Colorstory is going to be looking like for the next 2 months. Let's first start with the matte eyeshadows, I think. So I have, let's see, 76 mattes is what it shows. And I'm gonna have to wait for the ad to go. I'm gonna be just using my iPad here because I film on my phone. So here is the matte shadows. Let's just see what the first one is. What's that? Grounds from Sydney Grace. And French Hens from Sydney Grace. So let's now pull the special shimmer shadows. Here is the special shadow wheel. I have 150 shimmer shadows, and this is all inclusive. I didn't want to keep it, you know, so detailed. I just kept it matte and shimmers, but there's, you know, indie brands. There's a ton of different just shimmer ones. So let's see what the first one is. It is Hidden Treasure from Sydney Grace. And Anastasia from Give Me Glow. So now let me go pull those 4 shadows from my collection and show you the starting Colorstory. That took me an embarrassingly amount of time to find those shades, but I finally found them all. So here is Sydney Grace Grounds, French Hens, Hidden Treasure, and then Give Me Glow Anastasia. So here is the Colorstory here. And then just to recap, here's the old Colorstory that I had. So French Hens, pretty similar to Honesty here. This Grounds, similar to the MAC Charcoal Brown. I don't think I necessarily got lucky. I think that I just have a type. So this is what I'm going to be working on for the next 2 months here. See how much progress I can do. Again, my usage goals are to use each of these 30 times and then each of these shimmer ones 20 times. I think that's obtainable. I will be taking just progress photos since I'm doing this every other month. I'm still going to take a progress photo at the 1 month mark to just hopefully help myself see a little bit more progress, re-inspire me if I'm starting to feel a little bit stale with them, uninspired, and hopefully just like being able to compare month by month will help me. And I know when I'm watching Project Pan videos, I like seeing the progress photos. So I will still be taking photos every single month, but only reporting back every 2 months on my usage goals. But I am very happy with this Colorstory. I mean, these 3, I think, will be no problem hitting my goals on. This I can use probably every single day. This brown I can use as a liner. So even with other palettes, etc., I usually always use a brown liner. This will be easy peasy. This one, you know, I think for summer is going to be nice for a transitions shade. And this one will be a really nice inner corner. This one is probably, you know, the most out there. So this one might have to roll over in the next 2 months, but I'm gonna stay positive, just see how much I just naturally reach for it and try and get my 20 use goal on it. So that is gonna be this Making Dents series. I hope you enjoyed it. I've been really just loving Project Pan videos. I've been having a small hyperfixation and just seeing people get reacquainted with their collections and falling back in love with their collections is really just, it's inspiring to see that we don't always have to talk about spending money and buying new things. So that's all that I have for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Again, give it a like if you did, but I will see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.